Welcome back. At the beginning of this week's Hedra, we're told that Yitzchok and Rivka were barren. They stood on opposite sides of the room and both davened to Hashem for children. The Pasuk tells us, Vayeoser loi Hashem. Hashem answered Yitzchoks Tefillah, Rivka became pregnant, and they had two children, Yaakov and Esav. Rashi, quoting the Gemara in Yevamos, elaborates. The Gemara says, if both Yitzchok and Rivka were barren, and both Yitzchok and Rivka were davening for a child, and Rivka became pregnant with children from Yitzchok, why does the Torah say, Vayeoseh loi Hashem? Why does the Torah say, Hashem answered Yitzchok's tefillah? Evidently, Hashem answered both Yitzchok and Rivka's tefillah. It should have said, Vayeoseh lohem Hashem. Hashem answered their tefillahs. Says the Gemara in Yevamos, of course Hashem answered both of their tefillahs, but the real zechus for Hashem listening to the tefillahs was Yitzchok's zechus, Yitzchok's merit. Says the Gemara, why? Because Yitzchok was a tzaddik ben tzaddik. Yitzchok was a tzaddik and his father Avraham Avinu was a tzaddik. Rivka was a tzaddikas bas Rosha. She was a tzaddikas, but her father was Besuel Horosha. That's why Hashem listened specifically to Yitzchok's tefillah. The simple explanation in this is Yitzchok's tefillah carried extra weight. After all, he had the merit of his father Avraham, as opposed to Rivka's tefillah, which carried less weight because she did not have the merit of a righteous father. Her father was Besuel. I was thinking that maybe one can offer an alternative explanation. Yitzchok's tefillah carried more weight because he was the son of Avraham means. Yitzchok grew up in a house of tefillah. He saw his father Avraham davening. He himself was davening from a young age. As a result of that, it was very hard for Yitzchok to put in a lot of koyach, a lot of strength into his tefillah. For Rivka, she grew up in a house where she didn't see tefillah. It was all fresh and new for her. As a result of that, it was much easier for her to put in the extra kavanah. It was fresh. Yitzchok, that found it more difficult, naturally more difficult, and he still put in the extra effort and did a tefillah with a lot of concentration and a lot of kavanah, that carried the extra weight, and that's why his tefillah primarily was answered. This really is relevant to all of us. We all get to a stage in life where our mitzvah observance, keeping a Shabbos, putting on tefillin, davening, doing chesed, we've done it before. We've done it many times before. It's harder to make it special. It's harder to put in that effort. We should know if we do put in that effort, even though we're used to doing it, if we put in that extra effort, then this tefillah and this mitzvah observance will carry extra weight. Have a good Shabbos.